Hi, I'm Perdita Felician, and I'm one of the judges for The Last Poet Standing.
Yo, what's up? DJ Dopey, Nosa South Turntable Monks, and we're here at The Last Poet Standing.
My name is Decisive, Derek Christoph, judging at Last Poet Standing.
Lillian Allen, judge, Last Poet Standing.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Dave Merhaj, and the last drop I did, I didn't say anything special or make any kind of movement to inspire anybody, and I feel bad. So I'm here to try to do it again, but I'm probably failing at it because the cameraman said I wasn't inspiring at all. Or at the last poet standing, you know what I'm saying? Why doesn't he come in front of here and try to say something inspiring at a poetry jam? Yeah, buddy, I'm looking at you, but you're behind me. Don't follow me anymore.
Hi, what's up? It's me, it's your girl Julie Black, and I'm here with you. It's The Last Poet Standing. It's an incredible event, actually. You know what? It's deep. It's heavy. It's on some Dr. Phil. I mean, I feel like Dr. Felicia right now. I'm learning a lot. There's a lot more to come. I'm gonna come back to this thing. Actually, I'm gonna come back and just be in the audience. Like, honestly, Dwayne, big things. Totally appreciate you. Love you. The city needs this. The world needs this. The stratosphere needs this. Last Poet Standing. I need to do like Last Singer Standing or Last Somebody Standing.
I think I was motivated to promote poetry, one, because when I was starting out, there weren't a lot of opportunities to get on stage and to perform my work. And in order to create, an opportunity for myself and for those growing up at the same time I was growing up, I needed to create something for my peers. And, I started promoting it, and it's just kind of grown and snowballed from then. For this show in particular, it being, a unique one, how the idea came about was, simply from seeing a flyer in a washroom, and the flyer was for a wrestling event, and I said, hey, let me just go and check this out. And when I went, I just saw these local wrestlers, and I saw this boxing ring, and I was like, you know what? It would be pretty dope to have this poetry show with, the poets in a boxing ring. So I did some research to find out, how I can get the ring and that sort of thing. Met the people behind that aspect of the show, and we put it together. So because I have a great network and relationship with a lot of the poets out there, I said, hey, this is the new concept. This is what I'm doing. They all jumped on board. Because of the work that I've been doing just in the entertainment industry, I was able to just call up Maestro Cardinal and be like, hey, this is a new idea that I have. I need you guys' support. And they were just like 100% on board. And then after that, it was just, promoting it to the public. And I think the public loved the idea. They were intrigued by the idea. And it just came together perfectly. So, here we are at the second year, getting ready to do it all over again. I think, for me being a shy person, finding out that poetry was a means that I could use to express myself so that people could find out, what was going on in my head was also really important. So I saw other people doing it, and I thought that I had something to say, and I just tried my best to add something to what was being said. The very first show that I ever did was at my high school. I believe it was called Edutainment, and it was a talent show that just had friends and people that I knew from all over the place who just had talent. It was a Black History Month show, and it was great. It was well supported. The talent was great, and overall, it just at a time when I didn't know what it was setting up, it was actually laying the foundation for everything I've done since. I think one of the interesting things about that show was that. The gentleman, Little X, who he now is a big-time, music video director and that sort of thing, but he was in the show performing poetry, and it was one of those things where, he gave a disclaimer at the beginning of his poem. He says, I'm using certain words in this poem, but you have to hear the poem out to the end. And he started to do the poem, and this teacher just came up on stage and dragged him off the stage, mid-poem, and the whole place just went up in arms about, how that incident happened and how she treated him. And then later on in the show, there were a couple of young women giving a speech about, the use of certain words in hip hop music. and they mentioned the same words that he used, and nobody pulled them off of the stage. So then there was another uproar about that. And, you know, it was just, it opened a lot of dialogue. It had people talking about the show, and I think them talking about the show is really a good thing, because then it just put me out there a bit more in the spotlight. I think my favorite show that I've produced probably would be the very first Last Poet Standing that I did in 2012, just because it was something totally fresh, something totally new. No one has ever seen anything like that, you know, to go to a poetry show, and the show was in a boxing ring, and you know, the poets were excited because, you know, Maestro was there, Cardinal was there, and they were seeing people that they respected from other worlds coming into their world to be a part of this poetry thing. And I think being able to create something that is a great experience for the audience, and to create something that is meaningful for the artists in the show is a great thing, because both parties are happy at the end of the day, because they both feel fulfilled and they got something out of the experience. In 2005, I opened up for Alicia Keys when she was here for a World AIDS Day concert. I think that was good, just in terms of the sheer volume of people I was in front of, and being able to hear that feedback from so many people was great. I think being able to live off of my art for 20 years is just a great accomplishment that I still celebrate on a regular basis. I think my latest book, Everyday Excellence, which is a look back at the past 20 years and the lessons I've learned over it, and sharing that with other people, has been, you know, one of the highlights. And last year, in 2012, I was invited to Barbados to teach the artists there what I've learned over the past 20 years, and help them to find ways where they can, you know, prosper from their art. And I think, you know, being able to be recognized outside of your city for the expertise you've acquired is a great accomplishment. You know, as an artist, I'm in the business of creating, and I think, you know, having a daughter just really helps me to look at things, you know, very differently. You know, she sees the world completely differently. She isn't, you know, jaded by experience and by the concept of no, and the limitations of what we can do and can't do. So I think, you know, having her just breathes new life into the creative process, because you see new inspiration. If you're willing to, you know, to take the time and see things through her eyes, there's, you know, so much that you can learn and that you can gain from, you know, just listening to young people. And, you know, for me, it's just been a great blessing to have this new perspective. And what it's also done is it's forced me to look at legacy, and look at what is it that I'm leaving behind. So, you know, before all of this stuff, you would do this stuff and it's for, you know, your accolades and for your bio and all this kind of stuff. And now, you know, the things I do is for her. It's what am I going to leave for her? What is she going to be able to say that her dad did? And all the steps that I take are with that in mind.